So you show up for the church potluck. You've had a busy day, but you have made both a casserole and a salad. You have come and you've helped set up the tables. You've even put tablecloths on the serving table. You've helped set the other tables, and you've put baskets of bread on each table. And then you race into the kitchen because you have forgotten to put the casserole in the oven, and you get it in just in time for it to be heated to the proper temperature to be served at the potluck. And then you look across the fellowship hall and you see two couples. You know those two couples that don't do anything. They spend all their time just talking about when Jesus will return and that Jesus will take care of them when he returns. They quit their jobs because they expect him any day now. Well, so do you, but you're still working. And they don't even have enough food at home. So they come early to eat all that bread that you put on the tables before dinner, and they go through the line at least twice, maybe 3 times. And you can see them looking at you, so you are probably, because they're probably gossiping about how they saw your daughter out on that date with that girl. So you go home, you dash out a quick email to Paul, you know he will get them straightened out. And lo and behold, a response comes from Paul. And what does Paul say? He says, stay away from the people that aren't working. Do not grow weary in doing what is right. So how do you keep on keeping on when it seems that there is no hope of anything being any different? How do you keep on keeping on when it seems like others are getting away without doing anything? Why should I keep bringing out all of my recyclables and composting when 2 of the top priority toxic waste spots in Iowa, one being in Cedar Rapids, have been taken off of the priority list for cleanup by the EPA? I just heard this a couple of Sundays ago it was last Sunday on my way here. Companies get to continue to dump their waste in the ocean, in the streams, with little or no ramifications. So why should I keep recycling? So the scripture this morning suggests that the way to stay connected to God's call on our life, on your life, is to keep doing what is right. As my mom said, just because somebody else does it doesn't mean you should do it. But is to stay close with people, with the very people that are moving forward, that are doing the right thing. So you could say it in a little bit more positive way. Instead of saying stay away from those, stay with those that are moving forward. Just stay away from the folks that are not helping the community, because you can't push a rope. It will only zap your energy. Large groups of Christians travel to the Holy Land every year. Hundreds of people go. Our bishop goes, lots of people I know, and they go with large groups of people. Yet they never seem to see or hear the stories of the living stones, the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews who have lived there for hundreds and hundreds of years. And if you're confused about that, you're not the only one. And I recommend, if you don't know about those communities that have been there for hundreds of years, there's a really good book called Blood Brothers by Father Elias Shakur. When Jim and I went to Palestine the first time, we visited with Roxanne O'Brien. She works at a school called Hope School, and it's in Bet Jala, which is the West Bank, which is Palestine. And I kept asking her, how do you keep on keeping on? Because she tells the story. One of the ways that they raise money at Hope School is they have chickens. Hundreds of chickens. And they sell eggs. That's what they do. Well, during the Intifada, the Israelis had built up this wall of rubble and all kinds of stuff, so that they couldn't go from Bet Jala to Jerusalem to sell their wares. So a friend of theirs climbed up one side of the wall, and Roxanne climbed up the other side with enough, and she could only carry just so many eggs, and then he would cart them down and sell them and then come back at the risk of their own lives. I just read this morning from our missionary in Bethlehem that this year 430 homes, Palestinian homes, have been destroyed in the area C that's supposed to be theirs. But I said, how do you keep on keeping on? What do you do that gives you encouragement? Because the word there is, we're not optimistic, but we're hopeful. They're not optimistic that things will change because their voice doesn't come out, but they're hopeful of change. And she says, she remembers the story of the woman at the well, and she said, remember when Jesus said to her, do not worry, you'll be neither worshiping on this mountain or that mountain. What you will be doing is worshiping God in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth. This text invites us to consider, how do we live in this time of change and transition? Do we give up? Do we prioritize our own individual lives, our own pleasure, our own protection, our pain, and opt out of the community, out of the collective? Do we release the commitment to working for the community, for the collective liberation, if there's an inevitability to the future before us? Should we keep recycling, creating life, keep protesting, keep saving, keep going to school, even when it might feel like none of it matters anyway? How are people holding that unknown in their individual lives and spirits